Alright, collectors, Optical 20 again for another video review for a Hot Toys Age of Ultron. This time it's for Hawkeye, the much awaited figure, not because he's so awesome, but you know, this is highly coveted and now it's your chance to get one at a fair price. And I bought this at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link on the description. And yeah, you know, anyone who collects Avengers and anyone who's been collecting for quite some time now know the importance of Hawkeye in your collection, and he's been somewhat rare and really expensive in the past 2 years now. That's why I'm so glad I held out and you know I got this one, and in my opinion it's a lot better figure than the first one. And we're taking a look at the box. Pretty cool box right here. It's just a normal Age of Ultron box. It does have the picture of Jeremy Renner, as you see on the front, and right here it's the logo of Hawkeye, kind of like his mask from the comic version. As you can see, he has a purple hue out there. And as far as hands is concerned, he comes with, I believe this is the bow holding hand. So you're pretty much that's gonna be your go-to right hand. A pointy finger hand. I don't know if that's really the use for that. And these two are the arrow hands. I'm not sure. The other one's kind of angled, so not quite sure what it's for, but you know, you can use them in whatever, you know, preference that you have. Yeah, I'm just not sure what exactly it is for. You know, I don't know if it's a certain angles or whatnot, but it says on the instruction manual that, you know, it's for, you know, different poses for holding the bow. So that might be it. But yeah, apparently he doesn't punch, so he doesn't come with any close-fisted hands, which is kind of odd to me. And this is his Oakley shades. Yeah, you know, if you've seen the reviews for the first version, which I do not have, I always find that pretty cool that he comes with the shades, sunglasses. You know, it's pretty nice. Like I said, it looks Oakley, but it does kind of look messed up right there. But that's okay. It's sunglasses. Who cares, you know? And he comes with this quiver, which is pretty cool. You know, this is pretty interesting because once you receive the package and you open it up, you're gonna be like, my goodness, this comes with a lot of accessories. And nowadays it's very rare that you see that. As you can see here, these are the tips, the arrow tips that you're gonna get in a separate box. It's like in a small box, and you got a bunch of arrow tips. And you get 10 of these long arrows, and you get a bunch of empty ones. That is just to fill out the quiver, to make it look like it's full. So it gives you that impression that the quiver has a lot of arrows on it, because otherwise it'll be compact and they're gonna be cramped up inside. You know, if you have all those I don't know what you call that at the end of the arrow and the tips, they're gonna hit each other. So this is a pretty clever way. You just need to position them nicely so it doesn't look like it's empty, you know, if you know what I mean. But yeah, as you can see there, my hands are kind of shaky on this one, but yeah, you get different tips, and it says on the instruction manual specifically that, you know, you can only use certain tips in the big arrows because you get 10 of those, and then you get the ones in betweens, and then you get one small arrow which is in the middle. I guess that's the emergency arrow. The silver thingy that you see in the middle, that is the magnet. So what you're gonna do is, this is 2 pieces, but when you first open them up, it's one, and of course the magnet's gonna stick into one another and you're gonna mess it up. But you can super glue it. That's what happened to me. You know, I'm not gonna call Sideshow for that, but if you want to, you could, I guess. But you know, it's an easy fix. So just make sure you snap them. So you can see here the quiver looks, the detail is really nice. You can see there's a silver, I don't know, lining in the middle. That's where you're gonna put the small arrow. There's some battle damage, some weathering, I don't know, some gold-plated kind of thing. You see, you gotta snap it just like that. You know, it's easy. But the magnet is pretty much gonna hold the entire thing. But like I said, it's a pretty cool concept that Hot Toys did in filling out. See, there's no really gaps or anything, but it's not full arrows. You know, there's only like realistically, there's like 9 or 10 of them, but it looks a lot more than that. And pretty cool, pretty neat, honestly. And then it just clips on his back, which I'm gonna show later. And on top of that, like I said, outside of those arrows in the quiver, you get an extra long one. So if you want to pose him holding the arrow, which is understandably, most collectors would do that. These are the larger tips, and it specifically says that you can attach it to the larger, bows to the, larger bows, to the larger arrow. But this is the small ones. They come in one plastic, wrap thingy. And yeah, there are different styles. I don't specifically know. There's some grappling hook. There's some, I guess, some exploding tips, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, you can alternate them if you wanted to. And this is the I guess the fast loader. I don't know what it does. I forgot what the movie, but I'm pretty sure it like fast loads his arrow or something like that. These are magnetized, so on his leg, if you open it up, because you're gonna have to if you buy this figure, because he's gonna come in wrapped in plastic. So once you remove that, you're gonna see that there's some magnets on his ankles, on his shin or anything. So you once you put the boots on, you can kind of put them in there. And this is the small arrow. Obviously you can put some tips on this one, which I haven't, but I would, once I get my thing set up. And I guess this is how it's supposed to look like. I know he used this in the movie once or twice, I don't know, I forgot. The Blu-ray hasn't come out yet. I know there's some download sites, but I refuse to do that. But yeah, but it's nice that they included that. I just don't see myself posing him with that one. But this is the nicest, I guess, accessory that he does come with, and I was surprised they did this. Obviously, Hawkeye, we're talking about Hawkeye, he needs a bow. As you can see, it's like carbon fiber bow. There's a lot of details on it. I don't know if that's laser pointer or his scope. And you see some weathering on this one. It's all plastic. There's no metal on this one or whatever. It's pretty cool. As you can see, there's a string that is flexible. It does look like there's hinges, but you can't really you're not articulated. So, but they're nice nonetheless. There's a lot of details on them. You can see there's some weathering too. And here, all right, so I'm getting out of focus right now. Okay, there you go. So once we put them down, that's the larger bow, and we're gonna move on to the smaller one. Here you go. So the smaller one looks exactly like the larger bow. So I guess this is meant to be held, if you just want to have him pose without, because you need a lot of space when you have the larger bow, because obviously, but this one you can fold them, and it is articulated. See, you can move him up, and I know in the movie he kind of punches it in, and then it kind of transforms into a big bow, and this one is the retracted one. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that they included this one. I guess another option that they could have done is made the I don't know, the rubber thingy, it's kind of the flexible thingy that you can remove it so you can collapse it. But I like this option better, because at least we don't have to mess around with that. And this, I guess this is the standard base now for Age of Ultron. It's pretty cool. It's a larger base. Pretty similar to the Age of Ultron ones, like Captain America, Black Widow. I wish they would have made some difference on the colors and the hues. This one, to me, it was like, oh, this purple because it's Hawkeye, and then I looked at Black Widow, and it's the exact same thing. But I wish they would have, changed. If it's not Hulk, he doesn't have a base, but Captain America maybe red, Hawkeye purple, minor thing right there. And here we go to the figure itself. A lot of people I know didn't like the costume particularly. Me neither. I'd rather have the older version. As far as look is concerned. But what are we gonna do? This is what he used in Age of Ultron, so they gotta follow it. If he has a better costume, maybe on the Civil War, then great. But as for myself, I'm happy with this guy. Would I get the Civil War version if it ever comes out? From the looks of the artwork that they released, it looks like it's a better costume, because he looks like I don't know, like an altar boy or something here. But yeah, but nonetheless, it's pretty detailed. These hands are not particularly detailed, though, I must say. I was expecting some veins or anything. But the boots, that's one more thing, because the boots, because if it's one piece and it's kind of stiff, it's one rubber piece, unlike the Captain America ones, which is divided into two sections, so you get some ankle pivot You don't get it from this guy, so it's really hard. I mean, at least for myself, I find it hard for him to pose without any stand, which I'm kind of scared that he's gonna tip over and fall. As far as the costume is concerned, it doesn't hinder any articulation, which is a good thing, because with this guy, I know one of the cons of the previous version is that it's a sleeveless one, so you gotta hide the joints as much as you can. But you know what happens when you hide the joints, the articulation suffers. So that's one of the main reasons why I guess this is a better figure overall. As you can see there, you know, you can lift it up and you can pretty much hide the crotch cradle because of this. You know, I wish they would have done the same thing with Jor-El. You know, he has the same thing where you can kind of hide it. There's a zipper, as you can see. You can zip it up or zip it down to make it a bit tighter. Overall, it's really nice. Look at that boots. He has some mud, you know, in it. So that's pretty cool details right there. On his hands, that cuff. When I took it out, because there's plastic once you first buy, when you first open it up, there's some plastic inside, and I'm afraid that it's gonna create some fraying on his sleeves, kind of like the Captain America with the stealth version. But I hope not, because that's gonna suck if it does. I hope not, but I haven't heard any reports yet, so that might be a good thing. And I know you can see there's a zipper there which you can, you know, zip down, and I know Xenomorph removed this coat, and he looks, yeah, it's pretty cool that he has some shirt inside, but I don't know if he used that in the movie. Like I said, I can't recall. I've watched this for a while now, so. But yeah, at least that's an option. I wish there was an option where he has the sleeveless one, but at the same time, you know, there's going to be a lot of joints exposed. You know, I'm just going to demonstrate how it works, the fast loader. You can see his boots right there. It's really nice detail. But yeah, you can just, you know, put it out there. It's going to snap on its own. The bad part is it moves around. You know, when I was doing this review or posting this figure, it constantly moves, you know, from the side to the back of the boots. But I guess it's a nice feature. You know, you don't see any snap-ons or anything, you know, like the buttons, kind of like with the Black Widow with her knife. And on the back, this is how you're gonna put the quiver. There's like that little tab thingy there, so you're just gonna insert it there. Pretty sure there's an easier way or a less, I guess, tedious way of doing this, like Captain America once again with his shield. You know, magnets to avoid those silly things popping out from their bodies. You know, I showed this earlier, but I'm gonna show it again. This is how you're gonna put the small arrow on his back. I guess that's an emergency arrow, I guess. So if he's running out. Now moving on to the head sculpt. Alright, I've seen the original version. I didn't own it, but I've seen it. I liked it. You know, I liked it a lot. I guess the head sculpt was pretty good too, until this one comes out. I don't care if you're a fanboy of the first one or if you have it. There's no denying that the costume of the first one might be better, but the head sculpt is definitely spot on this time. You can see how much Hot Toys have improved over time, as you can tell from the texturing. You still have the shades on, which is, I like the fact that you can change his look just by removing his shades. It's pretty awesome, actually. And without his shades, it's Jeremy Renner, 100%. You won't, you know, the shape of the face, the stubble, his eyes, the tips of the hair. It's just awesome. You know, it's if you want to do like a Bourne, I guess, Bourne Identity custom, this would be a good one. But I don't know if anyone really, you know, liked that Bourne movie. I did like it, you know, but if you're trying to, and at an affordable price now, you don't need to fork out real big money for Hawkeye, like I said. But yeah, I mean, you can see here he has some wrinkles on the side of his eyes, hair, and I guess the overall paint application has improved vastly from the first version up to this one. That even if you have the original Hawkeye and you want to keep that look, which is, you know, I don't mind. It's not a big issue at all, because I can understand why you would do that. You can pick up the head sculpt, just the head sculpt, and update it, you know. But like I said, the first one is not bad either, so it's not like you have to. It's not awful like MMS 71 awful, where it's Keanu Reeves playing Batman. But yeah, this is definitely an improvement. He even has like some sort of a vein on the side of his, you know, temple right there, which is pretty awesome. You see from the side. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm, you know, taking too long on this section, because this is my first Hawkeye, so I'm just pretty excited to have him in my collection. You know, I knew I was gonna have one, just like Nick Fury. It's just a matter of time. It's just gratifying that I can actually pick him up for a decent price. And this is, I don't know, the I guess the fast loader with a bunch of arrow tips in it. I just saw this post on the website, on the Hot Toys website, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it on, see if it has any use whatsoever. Apparently it does, because you can you know, post them like this. It doesn't mean you have to, but you could. Now moving forward, would I need that thingy? Probably not. I don't know, I gotta find a way to I guess somewhat display that. There's several poses that you can pull off. Pretty cool. At first I was having trouble setting up the bow and arrow, because it's like a real bow, because once you put the arrow tips has some, you know, some ledge on it that you can actually put the string on, and once it gets loose on the hand, it goes fly. You know, it goes flying away. But and I'm just glad that the paint application on those tips are pretty rough, because, you know, otherwise I would have scratched the heck out of it. And this is one pose, I guess, that the first version is having trouble achieving. I know you can do, because of him having just a single, you know, jointed elbow. There's some limitations on the poses, and I know this is not even the most tighter, you know, one of the tighter poses that you can pull up with this figure. I've seen some where, you know, the hands are really close to the body, up in his face. You know, the posing limitations are all gone, because he even with the long sleeve shirt, it doesn't hinder any articulation as far as, you know, posing him with an arrow. So that's one good thing that I would commend Hot Toys on, because normally this kind of fabric, you know, you would have some, you know, some tightness. I mean, he does have some on his, you know, on his shoulders and whatnot, but overall I think it's pretty safe to say that he's a better articulated figure than the first one, obviously, because of all the joints that he does have. And as I mentioned earlier, I was having trouble, you know, setting up the bow and arrow in place. So I'm putting up like a small section here. Maybe that can help anyone who's maybe just an idiot like me who's having trouble on it. On the bow itself, as you can see, there's a section, a flat section that you can rest the arrow on, as you can see right there. See, you can just rest him on, and what you do is you set up the string first. You know, hook it up on the finger, and I guess because I'm using the other hand, the angled hand, maybe that's why I'm having trouble. And then you just, you know, you just place the arrow gently on his pinky. You know, you don't, because you can't see it here, but as much as I zoom it, I should have shown it earlier when I was showing the tips. On the back of an arrow, there's like a section where the string would be put on. So I kept on doing that. I was pulling it back and then positioning it, and the arrow keeps on flying. But yeah, you don't have to do that. So hopefully this helps anyone who's having trouble setting them up like me. Yeah, rest there. I guess it depends on the position as well, but overall this is how it's supposed to look. And that should be it. You know, I'm so glad that Hot Toys produced this figure for a reasonable price as well. For $220, pretty much the same price as Black Widow. That blows my mind. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't jump on the high price. I'm pretty sure the price of the Hot Toys, the first one, is gonna plummet from here on out. If you're in a market for a you know, Hawkeye, there's no reason whatsoever to even pick up the first one with its inflated price. Even at $300, I think that's inflated, because you can obviously get this for $220. Even at $250, even if they're the same price, I would still get this one because of the improvements that they did. Now, if you're a really fan, if his outfit is that big of a deal to you, then, you know, go ahead. But in my opinion, it's like getting Nick Fury. Why would you get the Avengers Nick Fury? Because you want the you know, the grenade launcher, or the costume is much more badass to you. But I think overall the improvements of the head sculpt and everything, you know, outweighs the the price of the previous one, because you can't get them for like $200 anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching. So please like the videos or subscribe, and you know, I'll see you in the next video, and peace out, guys.